Hey, hey, everybody. What's going on? Long time no see. Seems like it has been, anyways. How's everybody been doing? Let me turn this camera off. I don't need to know right now. Duke will be up here in just a little bit, y'all. He's going to tell us he said a crazy story tonight, so we'll look forward to that. I've been dog sitting all week, y'all. I've been running between here, my house, and my son's house this week, dog sitting. So they in Gatlinburg having them a good time. Hey, Mama Bear, how are you tonight? Let a few people get in here. Might take them a minute since I haven't been live in a while. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm doing good, Mama Bear. Hope you doing good." Let's see, we got a few in the bushes. Y'all come on in. We ain't doing nothing but hanging out tonight and have a little guest up. Duke's gonna come up here in a little while. Oh, it's okay. We just do our little group anyways, mainly. Hadn't nobody really been going live lately. I know I hadn't. I've been working, I've been tired, I've been dog sitting. Whew. So anyways, what all has everybody been doing? How's everybody been doing? I haven't been on here since or I might have. I don't think I did when because I had seen where which this has been a week back, but Robert Duvall had died. I hated that. Y'all know he made his debut on To Kill a Mockingbird, and then he just did an awesome job all through his acting career. I loved everything he played in. He was one of my favorites, y'all. I really liked him. Lonesome Dove was my favorite. As a matter of fact, I went back and rewatched the whole series about a week ago. And then McSteamy off of Grey's Anatomy, Eric Dane, he had died. And so I went back and watched a few episodes of where he was in Grey's Anatomy because I just loved him on that show. I didn't watch too much other stuff that he was in because I really didn't realize some of the stuff that he had been in prior. But anyways, so yeah, I went back and have been watching some Grey's Anatomy with Eric Dane playing McSteamy. Goodness, y'all, I can't quit yawning. I done come home and took a nap too. I've been tired. I'm telling you, getting up at 4 a.m. It's getting to be a whole lot. So, well, Lord, where's everybody at? I wonder. I haven't been live. People probably like got better things to do. But that's all right. Duke could be up in a little bit. Well, he won't care if there's many in here. We'll get us a couple in here listening to what Duke has to say after a while. I've been watching some TikToks. Uh, they still hadn't found little Genesis Reed out of Enterprise, Alabama. They still haven't found her yet. I said I'd keep y'all posted if anything had changed, but nothing has changed. They just hadn't found her. Didn't Stacy Wonder, didn't his trial start today? Or is it next Monday that it's gonna start? It's next Monday, right? I think his trial starts for the Michael Vaughn case. I'm not sure, but I think it's Monday it starts. I did catch a little bit of Cher's live last night that her and Lips done. Now, now I got some things to say, but I'm gonna keep all of that to myself for the time being. But if anybody, any of the creators talk to Candace, she's not loyal to anybody except Donnie. And she's not going to she's had opportunity after opportunity to get away from Don and not be in that toxic environment, but she chooses to stay with him, and she's not going to be forthcoming in things that she's in anything about Summer. She's just not going to be about Summer or the boys, about what kind of parents they were. That's just not going to happen. Now, I got some in the bushes that's watching, but y'all can come on in. Nobody's blocked. There's 2 people that's blocked out of my chat, and nobody else is blocked. Everybody else can come in and hang out if you want. So we just going over some of this stuff. And I wanted to come on here a little bit early and talk about a few little things like that before Duke got up here. So, anyways, if y'all sitting outside the bushes, come on in and say hey, hit the like button. That'd be nice of y'all. Hey, Lady R. Yeah, he'll be at hey. Oh goodness. I was like, where's everybody at? I kept changing it by Felicia. It's my fault. Um, because I kept changing it. I was supposed to do this live 3 days ago, and it's my fault. I've been dog sitting, and so I've been between my house and my son's house this week. That's what I was telling everybody, and so I've just been going back and forth, traveling back and forth, so I can dog sit while they're in Gatlinburg. And so I just hadn't had between that and work, I just hadn't had time to sit down and do a live. But I said I'm gonna sit down and do my live today. Oh, that's so sweet of you, Lady R. Thank you. I was talking about hey Oliga. I was talking about Robert Duvall dying, y'all, because I loved everything that he played in. Hey Nada. Like he got his start in To Kill a Mockingbird as Boo Riley. Remember that, y'all? Or Boo Ridley. Ridley. Anyways, yeah, and then I loved everything he ever played in after that. I just loved him. And Lonesome Dove was my favorite. Oh, and Lonesome Dove was just my all time favorite. But I mean, he just played in so many that I liked, though. Um, Gosh, the other one was right on the Secondhand Lines. That's another one of my favorites right there that he played in. I love them 2 old men taking that little boy in. That just tickled me. That movie was so cute and so funny. And then McSteamy died too. Eric Dane from Grey's Anatomy died. I hated that. He went but 53, I think. 53 or 54. He had ALS, and he'd only been diagnosed with it maybe a year. I don't even know if it'd been a year, but I mean, it got him quick, y'all. I hated to hear that. So yeah, McSteamy, he died too. But he died so young. Robert Duvall was like 95. Y'all, what's going on in Mexico? I had a crush on James Drury, and I think he's been dead since before I was born. Girl, my daughter called me crying. McSteamy died. Now McDreamy dies. So will she? Oh, I guess he died in 2020. But still, he was so dreamy. Oh, but so what's going on in Mexico? The cartel taking over Mexico? I saw where they wasn't letting the ships port in there, which they shouldn't. Well, hey, Carlos, welcome. If you hadn't subbed up, Carlos, hit that sub and that like button for me. I appreciate that. Darn, lady, you are going way back. Somebody played the Virginia. Y'all remember all them old shows like that, though, that was in black and white? Well, see, I'm telling my age because I don't know that we did get a colored TV when I was sort of young, but I still, when I was really young, it was still just black and white. We still just had our black and white TV. That's okay, Lady R. Peter Steele, yes, Botta. Hey, Nana for Life, how are you? I caught Cher's live last night, Nana. That's crazy what all she was saying. Candace ain't never gonna be a true friend to nobody though. It's always gonna be what you can do for her on YouTube. I don't and seems like in real life too, because we know how that turned out, don't we, Nana? So hey Pickles. How are you this evening? That's exactly what I was telling everybody. You just can't believe anything she says. She's not your friend. She's not gonna tell anything about what happened to her daughter, whether she knows or not. And I'm not saying she knows what happened to Summer, but even if she did, she's not going to tell anybody. I'm just beginning to wonder if we'll ever get any answers. So sad. And Nana for Life has been the biggest advocate for Summer, y'all. She's just, yes, even her children. I know, Nana. I know. Hey, act right. Yes, Lady R, she would have slipped up by now, especially when they're drinking and in the very beginning when they were drinking so heavily and coming on YouTube and just, yes, everybody knows how she is. And if you don't, then Lord help you. Ooh, they're doing a remodel at my store right now, and they just started today, and it's gonna be a big old pain in the ass until they get done. I can tell you that right now. I was like, oh Lord. I was like, how long is this supposed to take? I think it's gonna take them about 6 weeks to get everything they want to get done. I was like, oh God, I don't know if I can survive it that long. I might have to take me some sick days or some vacation days or something. I don't have patience for all of them people to be up in my way. I stood by Candace 3.5 years. Once I saw the documentation, I thought I don't, a yes now for life. I can understand that. We will always, I'll be here for summer. Yes. Full remodel. Well, it's, it's a, it's gonna be a lot. Yes, Pickles. Yes. She absolutely does, Lady R. She deserves answers. God knows if we ever gonna get them, but I hope we do. I wish Lawson dropped the shoe and making arrest. Candace talks lies beyond lies. Can't believe her summer needs to be found. Yes, absolutely. By Felicia. She absolutely. No one can truly imagine what was going on beyond those walls before she went missing. Well, the sad part is that, right? We can't imagine what was going on, and it's nothing good. Well, I can say that about my manager, Pickles. She's not lazy. She won't. She's older than me. She walks circles around me. That lady's got some. Uh, she's got some stamina to her. I wish at right that I could say what all I really thought, but I just I don't have it in my heart to say exactly what I really think. Hollow girl, I was talking to someone today and stated I always thought if I could love her enough and show her unconditional love, I could help, but no, didn't help one bit. And I think that whatever give a damn she ever had in her died a long time ago now for life, like way before those boys in summer and like maybe even, uh young adult, early teenage life, whatever give a damn that woman had in her was broke a long time ago. Yes, that right. That's why I'm saying I just think something busted in her a long time ago. Mm. Y'all always love Candace, but I refuse to accept that behavior. Absolutely now for life. And that's what makes you such a great person because you can still love someone without liking them, you know. You would think that she would have at least wanted one or two true friends, you know, but she didn't. And she doesn't. Nana for Life has done so much for Summer, putting up flyers, and Candace and Don Wells take them down. They don't want Summer found, in my opinion. I think Susan is right. I don't think she has all her marbles. She don't, and I mean that respectfully. Maybe abuse made it that way, whatever. But what she lacks isn't my business either. She, yeah, well, like I said, I think whatever give a damn she had, if she ever had any, got broken a long time ago. Probably, like I said before, any of her children come along. Because I don't think she had the greatest childhood either. It's just really sad when behavior keeps repeating itself, though, you know. Damn pickles, that's sad. Sometimes it takes our kids a long time to appreciate the mamas, you know. Yeah, Nana, we know you won't give up on Summer. A lot of people don't have a good childhood. No, they don't. Drugs mess up the brains. Yes. And I'm beginning to wonder if some of her I don't know. I'm gonna keep all that to myself. Nana, I will go boots on the ground with you any day you want. You got me for real, love. Hey, Connie, how's it going tonight, honey? Let me put this link back out there. I told Duke I was just gonna put it in my chat. So I'll put this back up here so he can just grab it out of chat whenever he gets ready to come up. All right, I know you have a good heart and I understand. Right, was boots on the ground when we went to summer today. I truly feel like even if Candace didn't hurt Summer, that she knows more than what she says, and for whatever reason, she's not, maybe scared, but not making excuses for shitty mothers. Get up here, stop. Come on, get up here. You can get up here. Stop all that. They start whining as soon as I come here. Come here. Come over here. In my opinion, Don and Candace sold Summer. A lot of people think that. A lot of people think that. Well, when you don't know what happens to a child, your mind goes everywhere. Mhm. Lady R, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does make you realize that you want to be better than that, and some people they just repeat the pattern. It's it's so sad when people repeat these patterns, you know. We know you have, Nana. Yes, we are supposed to break cycles. I just think sometimes people's mental state, they just can't do it, you know. And I'm not making excuses for them. I'm just um when you don't get the mental help you need, or you can't afford the mental health in America is horrible, y'all. Our mental health system is so broken that people can't get the mental health that they need, which is a whole nother subject, but it plays right along into this stuff, you know. I just hope one day something happens that brings me to. I just adored and helped my grandson's number. I didn't want to put him down 3 months old. Oh, Connie, I know. Grandson number 5. No, 3 months old. I want some of that sugar too. I lost my connection. Ooh, let me get that. Turn that camera off. I don't know why I'm up here twice, y'all. Because I lost my connection. I guess the other one will go away in a minute. I had surgery today and moving a little slow. Oh, well, hope you get better now for life. I know, right? That's crazy that people in that area still don't, as big of a case that is, that people don't know about summer. That's crazy to me. Yes, everybody pray for Nana. I noticed some of the flowers were looking bad. Oh, Nana. I know, Connie. That's so sweet. Number you got 5 grandbabies. What? Oh. Hold on 1 second. Let me try to get this email. Send him a link. He's not able to grab it out of my chat for some reason. Oh, 40 mercy. Gotta get the damned old computer out. I got a 5 a.m. shift tomorrow too, Pickles. I understand completely. But I was gonna do this live this after. That's why I changed it to 5 o'clock. I kept changing the time and the day and everything else. I've been running too many directions lately. Fred, Andy, Jody, Don, all these people was on Building Hill at the same time. Yes, 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 yes. Look at that up in here. What's going on? The timeline can't be explained without someone going to jail. Does anybody know about that? Why can't you explain a timeline without going to jail? What was you doing that you can't explain a timeline without going to jail? Explain that to me. That's what I'd like to know. Yeah, it's Duke. I just gotta get this link sent to him. And my computer's being super slow. What's new? Says it, yep, seems left timeline and Candace H, etc. And Candace can't tell the truth. Wondering why those documents aren't being exposed. Because I believe you can I think those are CPS documents, so they wouldn't be public. And there's only a few people that I believe Don and Candace have, or Candace probably have showed those documents to, and that's why they're no longer friends. If I'm not mistaken, Nana for Life, Jinkies. Lady R, I have all of Candace's pictures with the metadata, and Summer was with Summer on June 15th. It's far more likely that the bad friends Don was referring to were his own and not Candace's. I feel like it's probably both. All right, Duke, if you're listening, I sent that link. So you should be getting it. I believe someone went with Candace to drop off Grandis. See, I always felt like she made it home. I feel like whatever happened, happened at 3 o'clock and beyond. I'm saying when she went missing, Candace was with Hunter and Summer was with the at the property, was with Don at the property. Lady R, will it only pictures so I can't say what isn't in pictures? That's what I'm saying. No metadata shows 24 hours. Oh, let me see if that's. Oh, no, that's not. Okay. Yes, I believe Summer made it back, but after that, well, yeah, I believe she made it back to 110. I believe that too. John Wayne was the Duke. Yeah, a lot of people feel like she'd been moved, unlocked the little chain at the bottom of the driveway. I sometimes wonder if something happened right there, just a thought with other thoughts, Yeah, like a million. I know it, Lady R. So many out there, so many opinions, and I do believe the part where Summer left that morning because if the Sonic trip or whatever is to believe yes, they proved that there was proof of life either there at Walgreens, wasn't it? Or something happened when Candace left, and she thinks she, yes, she's. I think after the I think after Sonic, they dropped her off at home with Don, and Grandis and the boys brought Hunter home. For me, Don has always been more suspect than Candace because Candace does what Don tells her to do. Yes, well, that's true too. Y'all give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Hold, please. Oops. Okay, I'm back. I hate it when I get someone's name wrong if I didn't know I had it right. And John Wayne. Yep, John Wayne was the dude. Well, Hunter did go. Oh, okay, here comes Duke, y'all. Well, hello.
Hello, how are you?
You finally made it.
I know we've had one problem after another lately, but I'm here now and I got it all figured out. So next time it'll be easier. So how are y'all doing?
Okay.
Is it-
Welcome, welcome. We got about 18 in here tonight.
oh, cool. All right.
Yep.
I'm trying to boost so I can see. Oh, there we go. So I can see both of our lovely faces. Okay.
I don't have
All
I
right.
don't have my I don't have my camera on. I'm just an icon today.
Uh, I gotcha. I gotcha. Well, I just love looking at myself talking.
Well, there you go.
Not only do I love the sound of my own voice, I love the sight of my own face.
That's okay. We love the sound of your face and voice too. So you have a
Alrighty.
little
Well,
fanfare over here.
oh, cool. Well, thank you guys so much. Okay, so today I thought we might do a little bit of like true crime 101, something that I think gets overlooked and maybe we should draw attention to, which is the difference, especially with serial killers, the difference between a process killer and a product killer. So think of it like this. Jeffrey Dahmer was very much a product killer. He didn't like killing. He hated the act of killing. He actually had to get so blind drunk he was blacked out in order to commit his murders because he didn't like seeing his victims suffer. Now, once they were dead and he had the body, then we all know where he went from there. But that was what he was after. He wanted the aftermath of the murder. Um, Now, the opposite of that is the process killer. Um, think like sexual sadists and things like that. Like they actually enjoy the act of killing, and then sometimes not just owning the corpse, but further desecrating it, which psychologically means they haven't just killed you, but they are like killing your existence. They're absolutely erasing you. People who will burn the corpses, people who desecrate the corpses in some way. I think cannibals might actually fit into that category because you would think they'd be product, but there's something about what they do with the body afterwards. I don't know. That's a good question. I'll have to look that one up. But okay, so by way of example, I pulled up two cases that'll illustrate each point, and they're also just really interesting cases on their own. Okay, so we start with a man named Rodney Alcala. Now, he was very process heavy. This was a guy in the 70s. He was very charming. He was very well spoken. He could come off as very educated, even though he wasn't really. He claimed to be a fashion photographer. Um, he could very much just smooth talk his way into these situations. He would establish credibility. He'd have a little card. Oh, Alcala, I'm a photographer, fashion photographer. Um, and he would just get women to trust him to their own detriment. Now, he was a strangler, which is a very personal, they say like strangling and stabbing are very personal forms of killing. You're right there with the person. You control their breathing, which is, life. He was later on, after they caught him, they found thousands of photographs. Now, this is what he really um, did most of this for, which was taking pictures of the body, trophies. They say that a lot of times they'll keep something from them. They'll keep the victim's ID or a piece of jewelry. He took
Right.
thousands of photographs, but that wasn't product killing really, because the photographs were so that he could relive the killing of the woman over and over and over, because that's what gave him his kicks. Now, in 1978, at the height of his career, in really like his mania, he's not having cool off periods anymore. He's just going from one to the next to the next to the next. He goes on the dating game. Now, those of us of a certain age will remember game shows in the 70s. They were great. I loved them. When I was a little kid, I loved all those goofy game shows. The dating game, if y'all don't know or don't remember, three eligible bachelors or bachelorettes, they would be behind a blind and you couldn't see them. And then one lucky contestant got to ask them questions, and depending on their answers, then she would pick one, and they would go on a date, and then they would come back the next week. And if the date went well, the game show would say, well, if you want a second date, we'll pay for it. So I think there was another one called Love Connection that was sort of the same thing, but and obviously the questions were pre-written, and it's like, Bachelor 1, I love midnight walks on the beach. What would you do to spice it up? And he'd say, of course, well, I'd bring a bottle of sangria and maybe a beach towel so we can lay down. And the audience would go, woo, and all that. Okay, so this guy went on the dating game. I should have pulled up the clip because it is on YouTube. He won.
I remember this. Yeah, I remember this.
She picked him, but when she met him, she nixed the whole thing. She was like, dude, that guy's no. He's just way too creepy. So, and people say like, well, this probably saved her life, and probably not, because he was pretty good at what he was doing. He's not going to go on a date and murder someone that the entire viewing audience, of America knows. If she turns up missing, of course, who are they going to go to first?
Right.
So he probably wasn't going to kill her, but either way, they never went on the date. So, okay, now on the opposite end of the spectrum, in almost every way, is a man named Cottingham, Richard Cottingham. He was a product killer. He was known as the Times Square killer or the torso killer. Times Square in the 70s, again, if you're a certain age, you remember Times Square was just glorious. It was the sleaziest place on earth. It was porno theaters, strip clubs, kung fu, a lot of kung fu movie theaters. That's all they showed were kung fu movies, drugs everywhere, and transient hotels. It was a bad spot. Of course, prostitution, sex workers everywhere. Cottingham on paper was what we now would maybe suspect as a serial killer, but in the 70s, he was married. He lived in a very nice suburb out in New Jersey. He was one of those commuters, go into the city for work and go back to his bedroom community at night. Had 2 kids. Not so much as a parking ticket. Very quiet, very polite. I wouldn't say well liked, because he just didn't make that much of an impression. But and he was a computer operator, which in the 70s was he was upper middle, or he was upper middle class for sure.
Yeah, because that was like starting out point for computers and stuff.
Yeah, when you just had the huge like
Yeah,
mainframes that sat in their
right,
own room and you had to have a permission to go into it.
right, right,
So,
right.
well off dude. Apparently happily married. And like I said, never been in trouble. Well, he would target sex workers because it's very easy to lure them into isolated situations. Obviously, it's part of what they do. He would pick up a sex worker. He would have in the transient, those crappy transient hotels, he would already have a room booked and set up. Once he got her in there, he knocked her out one way or the other, tied her up, and killed her. And almost always dismembered the body. So again, the killing part didn't bother him, but it wasn't really where he got his kicks. He got his yayas by completely dismembering these women. And he would remove the hands and the head, not just so that she couldn't be identified, but psychologically, like I said, that is a way of not just killing the person, but in his mind, just absolutely erasing them from existence as his form of domination, basically. Really ugly stuff. It did help him in terms of it took a while to identify any of the bodies, but nobody was really looking because in those days, it's what the police called the less dead. Now, if let's say a blonde haired, blue eyed teenage girl from the wealthy suburbs he lived in, if she went missing, five alarm, everybody's looking, police are on it, posters going up, it's probably on the news. Everybody's looking for this kid. If a prostitute from, Times Square, nobody knows her real name, nobody knows where she's from. These people come and go all the time. So if one day she just isn't showing up to her usual corner, police probably aren't going to break a sweat over it.
Yeah, they
So
ain't thinking too much about it.
yeah, they're not worried. I mean, she might have just run away. She might have found a sugar daddy, or she might have been brutally murdered and hacked up. Either way, the unofficial term was the less dead. So he eventually he got sloppy. Somebody heard screaming from one of the hotel rooms. They busted in. The girl's tied up. He's got his murder kit out. It's obvious what's going on. So he gets busted for that. He later confessed to I think 80 murders he bragged about. But they, serial killers are famous for, like Henry Lee Lucas. By the end, he would have claimed that he killed Elvis or Gotti, and it was just because you keep him talking. He keeps getting cigarettes and coffee and a TV in his cell. So who knows who knows how many people. It was definitely more than the 11 he was charged with. It probably wasn't much more than that, but there were probably a few more murders. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Okay, so the aftermath is really what it's about. Like Al-Qaeda wanted the interaction of the actual killing. Cottingham needed domination also, but in the form of possessing the body afterwards. Different personalities, different rituals, exact same time frame. The 70s and 80s, they say, is like the golden era of serial killers because they were becoming prevalent, but nobody really knew about it. Like it wasn't until the late 80s, 90s that serial killers became kind of an object of public fascination or known about, with the exception of like Ed Gein, there were, or Bluebeard, if you want to go back 200 years. there were no you could really get away with it because they weren't doing DNA evidence yet. The NICAP had not been put into usage yet. The National Crime Index, when you get busted for anything, they got your prints. They can, cross-check everything. Interstate and even interborough police departments didn't talk to each other. So, there were many cases where if they had just been trading files back and forth, they would have put it together a lot faster. And it's just it's New York City in both cases. And it's just easy to disappear in Manhattan. People do it all the time. Now, here's the punchline to the whole thing. Remember I said that Cunningham was a computer operator?
Right.
He worked for Blue Cross Blue Shield of New York State, running their databases and all that kind of stuff. Interestingly enough, Alcala at one point worked for Blue Cross Blue Shield of New York. They worked in the same office at the same time. They passed each other in the hallway. There's no evidence that they actually knew each other. They never worked together. They never did any crimes together. There's no evidence that they knew each other beyond, hey Bert, hey Ralph, have a good weekend.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But they both worked together in the same office. Now think about that.
At the same time.
At the same time. Think about that. They're both sitting there thinking like, I've got a secret, I've got this thing, this horrible thing that nobody knows about but me.
At the same time, somebody else. Yeah, but they're both doing it. And it's called and one was a processor and one was a what? Now, what was the two different names?
Product. There's process and product.
So you had a product and a processor in the same building working for the same company at the same time, doing the killings for two different reasons.
Yeah, and both providing in a healthcare kind of situation, providing insurance for people. What are the odds of that? What are the odds? Crazy. Right? So there's your lesson for the day, and with a little twist at the end for you.
I would have never put that together.
Yeah, it's
the two peas in the same office.
Mm-hmm. It's like salt and pepper, chocolate and vanilla.
Working for the medical field, working in the same office
at the same time. For
insurance.
Yeah. And they were in the papers and
I always wonder how many serial killers I've encountered in my time. Just, hey, how you doing? And you know what I'm saying? In the line of work that we do, I always wonder, like,
oh yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah, y'all see a lot of people every day.
Yeah, we do.
Well, I went to a Saints game one time with my friend Andrew, and he pointed out, he's like, look out in the crowd. Statistically speaking, two or three of those people are serial killers.
Right. That's how I feel. Like I feel like that we probably see at least one or two, on an average a month or so, or at least every couple of months.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Or maybe just the widow whose husband took off with another woman, but in reality he's under the gazebo in the backyard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's probably a lot of people like that, but yeah, pretty amazing. So there's your lesson for the day. Every single person has seen a CIA agent once. Oh yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, isn't there also something like everybody accidentally commits like 3 felonies a day. Just like weird stuff that you don't think about, but is statistically or legally by the strictest definitions of felony. And your person that seems to the Storyville Slayer. Ooh, is that the Jazz Butcher? He was an axe murderer in New Orleans, and he would say, anybody who isn't playing jazz, if I don't hear jazz coming from your house, I might break in and kill you on a certain night. So everybody would hire jazz bands, or they'd get record players. Yeah. He's the Jazz Butcher, I think he was also called. Another one never got caught. And he was portrayed in American Horror Story, the one that the season that took place in New Orleans. Yeah, they actually made him into a character.
The witch one. Oh, because Jessica Lange had an affair with him, and I love American Horror Story.
It is. I didn't look at it till about the 3rd season, and it was not what I expected, and I was very much blown away.
Yeah, I love American
really
Horror
great.
Story.
The guy who called in Howard Stern. I remember that one. What was the verdict on that? I saw that clip a long time ago, but I never figured out if it was a hoax or if it was real, and if they thought it was real, how they figured out that he was real. Did he drop any clues, like something that only the killer would have known, or something like that? Does anybody know?
Let me see. I have no idea. We'll see what.
I think Hodgson was a cop who was who was claiming the killing. Oh, okay. Huh. All right. I'll look into that. Did y'all hear about the case of the cannibal cop? He did say things only a cop or a killer would know. Huh. All right. Seeing the Darkness. I will definitely look into that. I remember the call, but I didn't know all the stuff behind it. Neat. All right. I love it when somebody points out something I haven't seen. Uh-oh. All right. I'm sorry. That is my alarm.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You have your meeting. That's right. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you for coming up.
Absolutely. And I've got a bunch more. Now that you got my mind going last week, I have little notes. I have a bunch of cases. So anytime you're ready, I can come back on and hit you with something interesting. I try to go with stuff that I don't think most people have heard of. To just
good, because that was interesting today, and Seeing the Darkness, who is AKA Lady R, that's what I call her. She's a true crime buff.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah.
So
it's human nature, I guess, man. We're just attracted to the morbid stuff. But anyway, okay. Thank you guys so much for having me. Thank you for listening. Suzette, thank you for having me. And I'll definitely come back sometime later this week.
Yeah, we'll definitely do. I'm going live. I'm going to get back into doing more live. So
cool.
I've just been a little slow the last couple of weeks. I've been so tired and running around.
I hear you. Yeah, you got a lot going on.
Yeah. But I'm going to get back into it. Thank you, Duke, though.
All right. Thank y'all. Bye. Bye, Seeing Darkness.
Bye, Duke.
See y'all later.
Product processor crime. Oh, thank you, Lady R. I might have to let me remove There we go. Help him get down there. All right, guys. Well, I think that's all I had for this evening. Oh, come on, we talked a little bit before Duke come up. He's got tons and tons of stories, and he was raised abroad, so he, like I said, he's well spoken. He pronounces all the odd words that I can't pronounce. And he loves true crime like we do. So anyways, with all of that being said, I appreciate everybody that was here tonight. I love all of my people, and thank y'all so much. And y'all have a great evening. And I will do a live in the next day or so when we get back into doing one every day or at least every other day. So, like I said, I've been dog sitting, had a little other thing going on, but I got to get back into my channel here, guys. Start concentrating on my channel again. So much love to all y'all, and y'all have a great evening. Good night, everybody.